About years, there have been forecasts about the price of XRP. Let's be straightforward. Nearly none of them have succeeded, and this is a serious problem. Furthermore, I believe that the timeline is more of a problem than the actual price that is being floated. Recently, there have been wild forecasts that suggest we could make $100 before the end of the year, along with $1,000 here and $1,000 there, or $10,000. It's just becoming absurd. Really. Now, listen, I won't claim that I haven't previously discussed certain price targets because I have. However, the time frame is the primary consideration here. All right, about $100 in XRP, is it feasible? Indeed, everything is possible with cryptocurrency. But the time frame is crucial because every time we hear someone say, oh, by the end of 2025, it's going to be this, or by the end of, this date or that date, it's going to be this, that in my opinion is the main problem. Oh, however, it's a little odd when we look at some of these websites that discuss XRP price forecasts because it seems like many of them aren't that bullish about XRP at all. And I find that intriguing because, once more, I believe that XRP is among the most optimistic assets in this market, particularly in light of the most recent ETF launches. However, if we look at 2026, 2027, or even 2030, we might witness a big price increase by the end of 2026. As you can see, the possible pricing for the entire year 2026 are roughly $2.17. The average price is approximately $3.50, and the greatest price is $2.84. It goes without saying that each month is unique here. Then by 2027, we begin to notice a few different shifts here, approximately a $5 or $6. Thus, XRP even at times like $8 plus. However, this is merely an estimate of the possible price of XRP. However, the primary focus of my analysis is what will ultimately determine the price of XRP, because cryptocurrency will change at some point. Very briefly before we move on to the next video, Decent Wallet is offering up to 40% off during their biggest sale of the year. Now is the ideal moment to lock in on a good wallet where a single pack is 30% off and a double pack is up to 40% off. If you want to protect your cryptocurrency on a cold storage device. Even if you already have a good wallet, it's possible that a friend or relative who is interested in cryptocurrency would also like to save their money on a cold storage device for complete security. For the holidays, why not get them this? There will be a link in the description below if you guys would like to take advantage of this offer immediately. The biggest sale of the year is this one. It won't return for another year. Thus, it is the ideal time for you all to lock in. Having stated that, let's return to the video now. We will no longer be dependent on Bitcoin. We will not be bound by this hysteria and conjecture. I would contend that such transition is already beginning to occur. This raises the issue, what will be the primary price driver? It's funny to me that even major institutions like Standard Chartered are forecasting that XRP will reach important price targets by 2028, such as $12.50. This is the time frame once more. It's intriguing that institutional players like Standard Chartered are discussing particular XRP values, even though I'm not quite clear on a time range. Can we, however, handle this? There is a 100% possibility that this will occur. No, there is no assurance. We even have some of their targets down here after all. They predicted that the price of XRP will be $5.50 this year, $8.2026, and $10.4027. However, the 2025 price projection has already failed to materialize. The crucial question here is whether or not this will be entirely correct. No, there won't be any reliable price predictions. It's a forecast rather than a target. Though I did discuss the XRP environment lately on X, this is by no means a guarantee. Even though the market has recently had a major downturn, I said in my piece that the atmosphere surrounding XRP is becoming more optimistic, with growing institutional acceptance and real-world payment utility, more ETF approvals, and institutional capital inflows, clarity in regulations, and a lessened burden of previous legal ambiguity. Macro circumstances such as cross-asset flows and alt-season liquidity are becoming a reality, along with a bullish cryptocurrency market. Ripple is growing its XRP-focused offerings, such as institutional DeFi projects and the launch of a lending and borrowing platform on the XRP ledger. The entire cryptocurrency landscape has improved. Regulators have completely changed their minds. The Clarity Act is almost here, Institutions are pouring in, Wall Street is embracing and introducing cryptocurrency products, and even banks are keen to introduce stable coins and related products. Unbelievably, XRP and Ripple have been accumulating towards this point. They are completely locked in and have been ready for well over a decade. Indeed they are, and they have been preparing for this precise moment. You know, it's really thrilling. The best part about XRP, in my opinion, is that we don't actually need to make things more complicated. The main issue with cryptocurrency holders, in my opinion, is that they want to go in on Monday and out on Friday. However, if we take a close look at how financial markets have changed over time and consider specific ups and downs, I truly believe that cryptocurrency is a whole other animal when it comes to a class of financial assets. I believe that this is the first time that retail has had the option to participate in anything before institutional players entered the market, and even before regulations were put in place. Additionally, I believe that we have the chance to purchase particular components of the soon-to-be realized new financial system, and XRP is unquestionably one of those components. Let's not go too far off the path now. Here, price forecasts are the main topic of discussion. I'm sure you all recall my general assessment of the 2025 XRP price forecast breakdown. I was basically dissecting the market capitalization with dominance. As of right now, we haven't seen a significant breakdown in Bitcoin supremacy. Some of these milestones have already been hit, though. For instance, the $1.42 XRP pricing, the $2.37 XRP price objective, and so on. The target price of $3.32. We also had a couple of these other ones outside of it. I apologize, let me rephrase that. A couple of these other ones were also hit. It's true that some of these other targets haven't been met yet, but we also didn't see the cryptocurrency market cap significantly rise past $4 trillion. At about 4.2 trillion, I think we kind of got stopped out. However, $5 to $7 was my primary bull case here, or my minimum bull goal zone. The price is still between $5 and $7. The significant shift out of Bitcoin hasn't really happened yet. While $3.84 was our original goal here, we also failed to hit that. A few of these other objectives were struck. Have we made any money? In the end, though, we did make some money as we hit the 2x, as you are all aware if you are using Discord. Additionally, some of the other milestones were met with price targets that haven't been hit yet, but some of the original ones were unquestionably hit. As a result, we were able to reduce risk and make some money. However, the primary bull goal remains between $7 and $10. I have that intense target zone down there now too. It's unclear whether we will reach some of those crucial benchmarks. Everything essentially hinges on the flow of funds from Bitcoin to other initiatives. Now, I did ask Grok, also known as AI, where XRP will be by the end of the year. Alright, so this is 10,000 XRP because, as you may recall, the majority of folks in this area own between 1,000 and 10,000 XRP. In addition, the majority of individuals aren't able to buy it right now. However, I asked how much 10,000 XRP would be valued by December 31st, taking into account the possibility of another Fed rate decrease, better liquidity, and a cryptocurrency reversal. We now have your December 31st, 2025 XRP price forecast. XRP is currently trading between $2.10 and $2.20 as of November 27th, according to recent research of aggregated exchange data. This puts it below its peak of $3.84 in 2018, but much above its 2024 lows. Here the view is influenced by the main factors. Markets are putting in an 80 bull 85% possibility of a 25 basis point drop at the FOMC meeting on December 9th, 10 up from 40% earlier this month. Because of the softening labor figures, Fed Governor Christopher Waller recently said it was reasonable. This would lower borrowing costs, increase the value of riskier assets like cryptocurrencies, and devalue the US dollar, which has traditionally resulted in a 10–20% increase in altcoins like XRP in a matter of weeks. Then of course our liquidity has improved. Since the October 2025 crash, which destroyed $19 billion in holdings, there has been a strain on cryptocurrency liquidity. Order book depths on exchanges like Binance are